Hi, Richie. How are you, man?
Rafa, obrigado. Nice to be here, man. Thanks for that great introduction, brother.
Very good. Richie, we plan to invite you for this interview by email, but the priest manager told me usually do not check your emails. Is that correct?
Uh, I'm not from them, apparently. Yeah, the story is it's a true story. I deleted them by mistake right at the beginning when they were trying to contact me for the priest gig. Um, Luckily, they called me, like you guys are doing. They called me as well. They chased me up, and I got to talk to them. And I'm talking to you today because that happened. But initially, yeah, I deleted the emails. You know, luckily, it turned out this way.
Nice. It was meant to be then.
Exactly. Yeah, it's one of those things that happened. That, dude, I didn't know who the priest management were, so I just thought it was a spam email, and I just deleted it. So what can I say?
Yeah, of course. Well, let's start talking about your new project. What people expect from Elegant Weapons?
Well, obviously, it's a band that I've put together. I spearheaded it. I wrote the stuff, and we're moving on. Obviously, as a band that I've put together, but it's um, it's heavy. It's melodic. Um, Obviously, it comes from we're all influenced by the bands that we play with, as you mentioned. Priest, Accept, Uriah Heep, Ronnie sung for Rainbow and Michael Schenker Group. So we're very much influenced by bands of the 70s, 80s, some of the 90s, but you know we're very aware that it's 2023.
Sure.
And so we want to be modern sounding, but with those influences shining through. We're very proud of those influences, and we don't want to hide them. So it's a modern sounding band with some influences that we all know and love. That's what the band's about.
Great, great. And your new album, it's called?
It's called Horns for a Halo, and it's basically it refers to the good and the bad that we might do as human beings. We all do good things, we all do bad things, but
Sure.
it's we don't let the bad things define us. And when we turn up to the pearly gates or whatever you believe in, are they going to see our horns or our halos? And that's the question.
That's great. Perfect, perfect. I heard that you used only a flying V, only one flying V through Marshall Plexi. That should be fun, doesn't it?
So that's all you need, really. There's lots of effects you can use and different amplifiers and different guitars for different textures. But to be honest, that's all you need is a Gibson Flying V and a Marshall Plexi at the end of the day. Everything's trying to sound like that, really. No, but it's whatever works for the record. I've been in situations where you can have different effects and you try out different guitars for different textures, as I said. But for this record, it was inspiring for me to use a guitar that felt and sounded like that. It ticked all the boxes sonically, and the amplifier did as well. So I just went with that approach, and it seemed to work out perfectly.
Great. How long does it take? Did it take?
That's a good question. I think I started recording. It was early 2021. We started putting the drums down, and I think Ronnie recorded the vocals in September of 21. So it was most of it was done, it wasn't all done together. So it started in January. The guitars were done, the bass was done, I'm guessing here, February, March, April, and then the vocals were done a bit later. And then we went out on the road with Priest um, a bit later that year. Then I had a health thing, so that put it back a little bit. But most of it was done in the first half of 2021.
Great. And the creation process.
The creation process, I mean, I've had some of these ideas floating around for years, like maybe 2017. I'm always writing riffs. I'm always writing. I'm in the studio at the moment. This morning before I got on the phone to you,
Mhm.
I've got the guitar in my hands. I'm writing. I'm putting down some riffs. So some of these songs, they weren't finished but the ideas for the songs have been around for a couple of years. And it was actually during the pandemic that I could actually get the time to sit down and get all these ideas together and finish them or write new ones. You know, I had the time to be able to do that. So they've been around for quite a while. I remember initially when I was coming up with the music for these songs, I went to a friend of mine, a producer friend of mine, Tommy McWilliams, and I asked him, you know, can you write the lyrics to these songs? You know, because I'd rather have someone else do it that's a professional, you know, as much as you can be in lyric writing than myself. So maybe that's something for me down the line, but at the moment, I'd just rather concentrate on the music.
I see, I see. Yeah, if you had to do the whole album, which will be the worst part for you? The lyrics or the drum beats or something like this?
Definitely the lyrics. I'm not. It's a challenge for me to, you know, I don't know. It just sounds. If someone else writes the lyrics, it sounds better to me. To me, it just. I don't know. It just doesn't sound right. So maybe it's something. I like a challenge. So maybe it's a challenge for the future. Maybe I'll need to sit down and write the lyrics, and you know. But at the moment, I'm happy for someone else to do it. Someone better than me to do a better job. That's the way it should work, really.
Nice. I have a band in Brazil and I'm a guitar player and I have to write the lyrics. So I have the same difficulty as you have. It's really hard.
Well, again, if there's someone in your, you know, it's like if you're in a job, if you're in an office job and there's someone in your team of people that can do a better job than you, then they're the ones that should be doing it. You know, in my opinion.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, you're right. Definitely.
You know what I mean? It makes the whole unit better. So that's what I think. So, but well, maybe I'll learn some new words. Maybe I'll learn to spell correctly. Then I might be able to write lyrics in the future. You know.
Richie, did you feel any resistance from your Priest bandmates of having a parallel project?
No, they've been incredibly supportive. I remember, you know, I spoke to Glenn Tipton, you know, when I joined Priest, about the fact that, you know, Priest aren't going to be around for 20, 25 years. It's there, you know, I joined when they were 40 years in. Luckily, Priest is still around, but I think it's always been an obvious thing that I'm going to do something at some point, you know, after Priest. And I showed Rob the songs at an early stage, and he really dug them. He really enjoyed them. Management were on board. Management actually helped me out initially. You know, when I had the record, they actually helped out. And you know, the great thing is we've had a year off this year from Priest, so we've had the opportunity to release the record, do some dates coming up in Europe in June and July. So there's been no conflict. It's been nice and free this year from Priest. So, but they've been incredibly supportive. And I called up Ian Hill the other day, and he asked how the band's going, and everything, you know. So they've been incredibly supportive. So I've been really fortunate for that.
Nice, great. Any plans of Elegant Weapon touring South America?
Oh man, I'd love to. I'd love to do that. So we've got some dates coming up, as I said, June and July in Europe. But hopefully, you know, following on from that, we're looking for opportunities beyond that. So maybe the States, maybe South America, maybe Asia. So any opportunities we get, we'll definitely let you guys know.
Great, great. That's it. You should come here, man.
Oh, it'd be great. I mean, South America has been great to Priest over the years. It's been great to me since I've been in Priest. So I'd love to come down and celebrate some new music with you guys. And yeah, definitely watch this space. I'd love to come down there.
Great. And don't forget an interview on the radio studio, okay? On Kiss FM studios. We're waiting for you there.
You'll get the exclusive, you get the interview, my friend. Don't worry about it.
That's great. That's great. Richie, can you tell us about your daily routine when you're not on tour? Like what you like to do, not related to music?
Well, at the moment, my daily routine is this. I've been getting up at 8 o'clock in the morning and doing this from 9 o'clock. So, but that's all part of the job, so to speak. You know, we've got the record coming out on Friday, so this is part of it. But usually I go in the studio. As I said, I've always got a guitar in my hands. I'm always writing stuff, putting stuff down. You never know when ideas are gonna, you know, be used. You know, you might, I can't even talk. You might put an idea down on your phone or whatever, and you can put that down in the recording studio, and that might resurface on a Priest album or an Elegant Weapons song or an album. So you never know when those ideas are going to be needed. So I'm always banking those. I think it was David Lee Roth. He called it banking. You're banking the ideas. You're putting those ideas in a bank so that when you need them, you can just take from the bank. I'm always doing that. I'm at home at the moment, so I've got my daughter. She's almost 3 years old, so we play a lot. We play in the garden with the dogs. But a lot of it at the moment we've been recording videos for Elegant Weapons. We've been doing a lot of promo for Elegant Weapons. I've been doing some, recording and stuff. What else do I do? I collect guitars and guitar amplifiers.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I could imagine that.
Of course, a plumber can never have too many wrenches, my friend. You know what I mean? So I do that kind of stuff. Yeah, just normal stuff. I'm just a normal dude, really.
Football? You're a football fan or something?
I am. I used to be a bigger football fan when I used to live in the UK. I've got out of it. I don't keep in contact with it as much as I used to, but we were just in South America in December, and the World Cup was going. So that was a big deal. I don't think Brazil done too well this time around.
Oh, don't tell me about it.
I know. We've noted England. England never do as well as they should.
It was better than us. That was better than us.
But it was electric. I remember we were in Argentina, and I think they they won the semi-final and got into the final, and we had a show that night in Buenos Aires, and it was a sold out show. They got into the final that day. The atmosphere was just unbelievable. It was one of the best shows I've ever done because of the atmosphere, because of the football. It was just brilliant. It has nothing to do with us, but you had football and Judas Priest on the same day in Buenos Aires. It was just unbelievable. You can imagine.
Yeah, football and rock and roll has everything to do with it. It's really good.
Brilliant, especially in South America, in England, and in Europe. It's just massive.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I asked you that.
No, I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah.
What's your team, by the way?
Sorry?
What's your team? Corinthians?
No way. I'm São Paulo fan.
No way. Okay, fair enough.
Well, you were the protagonist of one of the most metal moments of all time, right? 2 years ago, you simply had an Arctic aneurism on stage while playing Painkiller, and you finished the damn song. How is that possible, man?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think, in all honesty, I didn't know what was happening. I think if I had known what was happening, I didn't know anything about the condition. So I think if anyone, why would I know about that? It's not anything we're really aware of, and I think people should be more aware of it. I thought it was a heart attack, but what I did know was that there were 30,000 people in front of me. I was there to do a duty. I was there playing a song. I was there as part of a legendary band, and I was there to finish that song and finish the set. That's what I knew. So that's what I did. Maybe it was stupid. Maybe it could have killed me, but it didn't. I beat the Reaper that night, so all's well and good.
Yeah,
but it was
definitely.
It was one of those moments, man. It was, I don't know what to say. It was I just carried on because that's what I knew. And and afterwards, I was fortunate enough to get off stage. There were medics there. We had ambulances. They took me to the hospital. The hospital was only 3 miles away, and it was just an incredible coincidence. There were so many coincidences that night that saved my life. It was just unbelievable. So I'm just happy to be here talking to you now about it,
Yeah, I saw your performance yesterday on YouTube while you're having your condition. And the comments are spectacular. Like, you're a god of metal, and brilliant.
Well, again, I didn't have anything to do with it. you know, it was just one of those things that happened in life. I mean, it's a good story for sure, but it was a bit scary at the time, and it turned my life around, you know. And again, you know, people go down and they don't usually get up from that sort of stuff, or they don't make it to the hospital.
Like 80% average doesn't.
Yeah, I was really, really lucky. And I think one of the contributing factors was that our adrenaline, we were playing, so our adrenaline was high, and it gave me the adrenaline to make it to the next stage, to get to the hospital. And so literally, because we were playing, it contributed to saving my life. So you could say heavy metal saved my life.
Metal saves lives, hashtag.
There you go, man. That's a beautiful thing.
And by the way, some people said that if you were playing a Dream Theater song at the moment, you wouldn't be any chance. You wouldn't have any chance, right?
That's a good point, actually. Yeah,
because it was too long.
That's a great point. Yeah, absolutely. It was, again, it was one of those. It was that song. It was the last song of the set. We had a short set that night, so Metallica were playing after us. So usually we have an hour and 40. I think it was only an hour that night. So if we had a longer set, I would have kept playing, and I wouldn't. If it had happened, I would have gone down. I wouldn't have got up. So luckily we had a short set, and that song ended when it did, and I was able to get it. You know, it's literally, if it was a couple more minutes, we might not be talking. It's that intense. So yeah, just incredibly grateful and fortunate to be here talking about new music, new tours, new albums, and you know, just talking in general. I'm just incredibly grateful.
Yeah, that's what we call fate,
dude. Absolutely, man. Just, and you know, the support system I've had at home, and you know, the medical guys and girls, you know, the surgeons and the doctors, nurses, they were unbelievable. I mean, they saved my life, man. I mean, they bypass your heart. They turn your brain off. You're literally dead. You know, they freeze you down to a certain temperature. You're dead. You're technically dead. So they saved my life. They brought me back, and what can you say? Everything since then has been a bonus, and you count your blessings every day.
To finish, you mind if we team up the best band of all time, like a classic formation, dead or alive musicians?
Yeah.
I know it's hard, but let's try.
Okay.
For the vocals, who'd you choose for vocals?
On vocals, I'm going to say Dio.
Dio, of course.
Yeah.
On lead guitar?
Dead or alive?
Yeah.
Is it two guitars?
Yeah.
Man. Okay, we're going to go with one dead and one alive. So on stage left, we're going to have Randy Rhoads.
Cool. Nice.
On stage right, we're going to have Michael Schenker, because
nice.
I think they'll work well together. I think they've got the neoclassical thing.
The Marshalls would explode.
Yes.
Bassist,
I was going to say Jimi Hendrix, but I think Randy and Michael would work really well together with Dio.
Yeah.
Bass player, I'm going to say Cliff Burton.
Nice.
And on drums, I'm going to say, oh man.
Pretty hard, I know.
I'm going to say, I don't know. I'm going to go with Alex Van Halen, just because I need to pick someone.
Cool. Nice. It'll be a dream team, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's so many. You could put Dimebag Darrell in there. You could put, Hendrix in there. You know, there's so many. You know, you could change all of those around. You could put Bon Scott in there on vocals. I mean, we could do so many dream teams. But just to, if we had to do one now. Let's
Yeah,
go
of
for that.
course. Yeah, imagine this band would be amazing, of course. Well, Richie, any final considerations?
Well, I think we've covered quite a lot of ground. You know, we're looking forward to getting out touring. We're touring next month, so the record comes out on Friday, and we're touring. We head out for Europe early next month. We're going to do some dates with Pantera. We're going to do some festivals, and as I said, hopefully we can get down to South America at some point. So yeah, we're looking forward to getting out to the fans and playing some rock and roll and sharing some great moments with the fans, and hopefully we'll get down to Brazil soon.
Okay, Richie, it was a pleasure talking to you. I'm a big fan and amazed. Thank you very much for your time and your kindness.
It's a pleasure, man. Take care now. Have a good day.